Could it be that Russia secretly gifted China an M1A1 tank, causing the West to collectively lose its composure the moment our Type 99B made its debut? Recently, with the unveiling of China's domestically produced Type 99B main battle tank, waves of speculation and skepticism have swept through international military circles, particularly among Western media outlets. Some reports assert with certainty that China's rapid development of an upgraded model stems from obtaining wreckage of American M1A1 and German Leopard 2 tanks from the Russia-Ukraine battlefield for reverse engineering. Vague video clips circulating online purportedly show U.S. military equipment being transported by rail to the Far East, seemingly attempting to substantiate claims that China obtained Western technology through unconventional means. This series of propaganda maneuvers has not only thrust the Type 99B into the spotlight, but also led many to question, is China's tank technology advancement truly inseparable from imitating Western designs? This speculation perpetuates a long-standing Western mindset regarding China's military development, that every major technological breakthrough must rely on absorbing, or even copying foreign technology. From similar arguments when the Type 99A entered service to the emergence of the Type 99B and even more advanced next-generation tanks today, this narrative resurfaces repeatedly. It reflects the psychological gap. Some Western observers struggle to accept China achieving independent innovation, even partial leadership, in core traditional ground forces equipment. As Chinese tanks transition from followers to parallel developers, and even pioneers in certain areas, certain voices resort to the technology borrowing theory to deflate the impact of this progress, attempting to preserve outdated notions of technological superiority. Yet from both common sense and professional perspectives, the notion of reverse engineering technology from wreckage is fundamentally untenable. Those familiar with the realities of the Ukrainian battlefield know that destroyed M1A1 or Leopard 2 tanks were mostly targeted by precision strikes from drones, anti-tank missiles, or artillery fire. Their hull structures were severely damaged, internal systems scorched and melted, often leaving only unrecognizable piles of metal debris. Extracting core hardware and software technologies, such as digital fire control systems, modular armor formulations, or data link fusion algorithms, from such ruins is nothing short of a fairy tale. Even if partial wreckage were obtained, without complete original design blueprints, manufacturing specifications, and a supporting industrial ecosystem, the difficulty of reverse engineering far exceeds common imagination. History offers numerous parallels. When the Soviet Union sought to reverse engineer the American B-29 bomber, it deployed massive manpower and resources to dissect and map 3 intact prototypes. The resulting Tu-4 bore superficial resemblance but suffered from increased weight, reduced range, and overall performance inferior to the original. In China's aviation engine sector, even after obtaining reference physical models of certain foreign core engines in earlier years, it took decades to bridge the gap from reverse engineering to independent development. This involved mastering material processing techniques, assembly tolerances, and even thermal management design details. These examples demonstrate that modern high-end weaponry represents highly complex systems engineering. It cannot be pieced together from a few wreckage fragments. Moreover, the logic behind the 99B tank's upgrades fundamentally diverges from the development paths of existing Western tanks. Its core enhancements do not focus solely on bolstering traditional armor or firepower, but instead align with emerging trends in information warfare, unmanned systems, and joint operations. Building upon a mature chassis, it undergoes deep digital transformation. Key improvements include battlefield situational awareness, multi-platform data sharing, and manned-unmanned collaboration capabilities, areas that remain relatively weak in traditional third-generation tank architectures. In other words, the Type 99B embodies the PLA's leapfrog approach of empowering machinery through information technology, a stark departure from the traditional upgrade models of tanks, like the M1A2 or Leopard 2A7, which remain focused on armor and artillery. If any reference point exists, it might be that the Type 99B's future combat concepts align with or even surpass existing Western designs, something that clearly cannot be reverse engineered from any physical wreckage. In reality, if Russia were to transfer captured Western tanks to China, the greatest significance would likely lie not in reverse engineering, but in using them as critical physical references for equipment testing and tactical research. Much like a boxer analyzing opponents' match footage to devise strategies, possessing actual tanks for live fire testing, electromagnetic environment detection, and vulnerability analysis holds immense value for validating the effectiveness of domestic anti-tank weapons and optimizing reconnaissance to strike chains. For instance, live fire tests can precisely evaluate the penetration effects of domestically developed new armor-piercing rounds against frontal and side armor of Western tanks in various operational states. Analysis of their infrared and radar signature characteristics can optimize recognition algorithms for domestic reconnaissance sensors. Even studying their internal layouts can provide counterexamples or positive references for designing more efficient and user-friendly human-machine interfaces in future systems. Such physical research constitutes routine intelligence and research activities for militaries worldwide. The U.S. military has long acquired Soviet and Chinese-made equipment through various channels for testing and evaluation, subsequently adjusting tactics and upgrading equipment based on these findings. Therefore, even if an M1A1 tank did reach China, it would more likely end up as a target at a testing range, or undergo meticulous dissection in a research institute's laboratory. Its ultimate destination might be a corner of a military museum, serving as a historical artifact rather than a blueprint for design institute's production lines. From a broader perspective, the controversy surrounding the Type 99B tank fundamentally reflects the inevitable public discourse accompanying China's military-industrial systems transition from catching up to innovation. Certain Western circles remain accustomed to positioning themselves on a technological high ground, looking down upon others. Whenever China demonstrates an independent technological path and rapid iteration capabilities in a particular field, they unconsciously question its origins. This reaction only underscores that we have charted a distinctive development path in major combat equipment. Domestic tank technology has long surpassed the stage of simple replication, entering an era of original exploration grounded in our own combat systems and industrial foundations. While the West remains embroiled in debates over how to upgrade and extend the lifespan of outdated platforms, we are already tackling new era challenges like drone swarms, intelligent decision support systems, and active protection systems. This generational gap in thinking may be the true source of unease for certain observers. As for whether that legendary M1A1 was ever shipped to the Far East, the answer may no longer matter. What matters is that China's tank technology is advancing steadily at its own pace. The debut of the Type 99B represents more than an equipment upgrade. It is a symbol. It signifies that China's armored forces now possess the confidence to stand on their own feet and look toward the future. If the West remains mired in the outdated narrative that technology must originate from the West, it will only grow increasingly blind to the innovation unfolding on Eastern soil. One day, those once revered weapons may truly become nothing more than footnotes in our museum's historical archives, and this, perhaps, is the future scenario that truly shatters certain people's defenses.